Before I start this video, for all of you PS2 Model 25 fans out there, I paid too much for it, but I've got something very exciting on the way to show you guys. I've been looking for one for years, maybe even a decade. Very exciting. It's got some leaky battery damage, though. I hope like fuck we can fix this son of a bitch. Oh. Okay, anyway, on with the video. Oh, what delicious filth. I haven't had that machine open for like 10 years. No, wait, I had it open like 6 years ago to put RAM in it. Gnarstily. RAM on a video card. Don't want to fib to you. Yeah. Whew. Well, that's a little better. Boy, that buddy was almost as dirty as my ex. Whew. Let me tell you something, boys. Filthy women are fun when you're dating, but they don't make wife material. So, all you young whippersnappers out there, take that into account, or you will end up old and alone, like yours truly. Which I'm fine with. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather that than put up with that bullshit again. But just saying. Anyway, what are we doing today, gentlemen? What are we doing today? This doesn't look like vintage computing stuff. Well, it is 10 years old. Is something vintage after 10 years? Some people would seem to think so. I don't think so. But anyway, yeah, this is an old, I think it's from 2009 or 2010. It's an old 2.8 gigahertz 6-core Phenom 2 board. I had to decommission the thing because the Phenom 2 CPU doesn't support the SSE4 instructions, which are required for Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm not much of a gamer, but I do make time for all things Cyberpunk, all things Wasteland, and most things Fallout other than Fallout 76. I gotta have my guilty pleasures, boys. Anyway, now that this thing's been decommissioned and replaced with a machine that's actually slower, that does support the SSE4 instruction set, strange how that works. These were really good machines back in the day, and it has lasted very well. But I digress. We're going to turn this into the new Linux box for up here. I've been using an old Lenovo ThinkCenter that I got used for $50. But this will be better because we have a server case that can take 10 or 12 disk drives, and we can move all of our shit onto this thing and put Devuan GNU Linux on it, and it will make an awesome shop machine. Let's do it. Up there on that shelf, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a 4-disc USB 3 to SATA enclosure with a Raspberry Pi 4 on top of it, which is of course running Devuan GNU Linux because Systemd is a piece of shit. And that's the new network attached storage. That box has 4, I think they're 2 terabyte drives in it, arranged in a RAID 5. And those boxes, those discs are going to go in, what did I do with it? This enclosure. Yes, sir. And here's the old network attached storage. If you can hear me over this stupid thing, it's out on the porch because it's so fucking loud. It's some kind of single core Celeron that I had for years and years. I don't remember. It has 4, I think they're 1 terabyte drives in it, arranged in a RAID 6. So those drives are also going to go into that giant case. Let's talk a little bit about why I like this particular board. It is about 10 years old, but it can accept a total of 32 megs of RAM. The Phenom CPUs, despite being kind of power hungry, are actually they compete well with newer CPUs. 2.8 gigahertz, but they made faster ones, and it stacks up very well against newer stuff. Now, this particular board, despite being relatively new, has a floppy drive connector, a parallel ATA connector, a parallel port, like a parallel printer port, over here somewhere. It's one of these headers, I can't remember which one, and an onboard serial port. So in terms of like interacting with other old computers, that's pretty fucking sweet, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, good machine. It's been, I bought this thing new when they first came out, and it has been a good boy, and I'm glad that he can get a new lease on life here. Well, gentlemen, the unfortunate thing about waiting for Devuan installations to finish is that it is extremely easy to drink too much beer while you are watching the bar go across the screen. So I'm not sure at this juncture if I will finish this project yet this evening or not. I will do my damnedest, boys, but sometimes it's just not possible. But I'm pleased with this large boy. That is a rather small keyboard, so that probably fucks the perspective up a little bit, but it's unfortunately not beige, but it has the sort of quasi shape and size of an old school Unix box, like an HP or something, which pleases me somewhat. Must finish Devuan installation. I've already salvaged the drives from the oldest NAS downstairs, the NAS Tay, I call it, and 2 of the drives were bad. It was running a RAID 6, so 2 drives can fail. I hadn't used it for so long, it just sat there on. The only reason I still had it in service was that there's some shit that hits that machine from other machines, you know, in cron and stuff like that, backups and stuff like that, you know. And I couldn't be asked to change them over to the new NAS up there on the Raspberry Pi. So it's fortuitous that we caught that bastard when we did, because in a RAID 6, if more than 2 drives fail, you're fucked. Not like there was anything terribly important on there anyway, but that's not the point. I should be more cognizant of my computing stufferoos. Okay. Well, here's a reference beer can for size. So that's just a small keyboard. It makes it look bigger than it really is. I wish I had that problem with the ladies. So yeah, it's pretty much done. I still got a couple of extra disk drives there because those were dead. So it's only got 8 drives in it instead of 10 right now. But yeah, I think that these cases that have windows in the sides are stupid as shit. But they didn't make one without the window, but it'll go up there on that shelf where that old mid tower is right now. So the stupid window will be next to the wall, and I won't have to see the light shining out of it. There we go, boys. Linux machine. There she is. Beauteous things. Oh yes. Maybe next time we'll actually do something with old computers. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, bye.